There's nothing quite like being an insider in a pack of wolves. And I don't want to have a submissive position near the carcass. A journey that began with 2 wolves I raised from pups continues with close encounters among Yellowstone's resurgent apex predator.
There's a big black male that's actually trying to infiltrate the pack.
I'll track the gray wolf from the first steps of a controversial reintroduction to the farthest reaches of an ecosystem where the wolf is restoring balance.
This bear, before the wolves are introduced, would never have the opportunities that he does now, so he's completely benefiting from the wolf's presence.
I'll endure rugged extremes and face deadly strength for a chance to see the view from inside the Wolfpack.
And right now, I've got front row seats, and this is the greatest show on earth.
I'm setting out into the frozen depths of winter in Yellowstone's backcountry to track one of the park's wolf packs, the Silverpack. When you're trying to find wolves, sometimes the best way to start is by looking down.
Look at the size of these. This is a massive wolf track. And look at that. This is definitely not your average dog. He's moving in that direction. So hopefully I'm gonna follow this and find a wolf at the end of this track.
Since the return of wolves to Yellowstone National Park, winter showcases some truly spectacular scenes. Wolves don't hole up for this harsh season like the park's bears. They're very active, even through the coldest months, hunting game that's been weakened by the unforgiving extremes and finding partners during their winter mating season. Through the years, I've been fortunate enough to work with a number of Yellowstone's animal species. Grizzly bears, mountain lions, bighorn sheep, and even wolves. But no matter how much time you spend with captive animals, nothing replaces the experience of observing them in their natural habitats. So I'm making my way into the territory of Yellowstone's Silverpack.
Just come down off the ridge to watch this herd of bison. It's really cool to watch them eat in this deep snow. They use those massive heads to move the snow and get down to the grass. But I'm not the only one watching the bison. Just up on the ridge is a pack of wolves, and something really interesting is happening. There's a black wolf trying to infiltrate the pack, and the alpha keeps trying to run him off. So I'm gonna go over here and watch and see what happens.
A pack is the basic unit of wolf society. It's organized around a dominant pair, often called the alpha male and alpha female, the pack's primary breeding pair. The alphas and 2 younger wolves make up the silver pack. But this outsider looks like he might be trying to shake things up.
Wow, that wolf is super persistent. It keeps trying to get into the pack, but the alpha wants nothing to do with it, keeps running it off. It just keeps trying over and over. And she just keeps chasing it off, going after him, chasing him far away. And he just comes right back, tries to get in the pack.
As I watch, the black wolf makes an advance on one of the young females. The alpha male rushes in to interrupt.
Now, that black wolf was part of another pack at one point and broke away, wanted to start his own pack, and that's what he's doing right now. He's coming to this pack and he wants to make it his own, and maybe someday he'll be the alpha.
This chance to observe and understand the complexities of Wolfpack dynamics is an opportunity I wouldn't have had just a few years ago. An estimated 200,000 gray wolves once populated the United States. But as waves of settlers arrived in the West, wildlands gave way to ranches and farms. The new arrivals saw the wolf as an adversary, a threat to their livestock and a trespasser on their newly claimed lands. The extermination that followed eliminated the gray wolf from nearly all of its original territory in the lower 48 states. In 1926, government hunters killed Yellowstone's last wolf. Meanwhile, biologists were reconsidering the relationships between predator and prey. They began to understand that taking even one species out of an ecosystem could trigger an avalanche of unforeseen consequences. So the scientific community advocated for the reintroduction of wolves in Yellowstone National Park. But not everyone was ready to welcome them back. The debate raged for over 50 years until 1995, when the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service put a bold plan into motion. Wild wolves would be captured in Canada, relocated by air to Montana, and chauffeured into the backcountry of Yellowstone National Park. The transition proceeded in stages. First, the Canadian wolves were acclimated to Yellowstone in large freestanding pens. Wolf number 10, a big muscular male, joined number 9, a female that would in time make a huge mark on the history of Yellowstone. At first, these two wolves, brought from different packs, tangled in frequent skirmishes. But as time passed, they grew close. Finally, when winter became spring, number 10 and number 9 were released into the wild with tracking collars. The experiment was underway, and the whole world was watching. The staff traced the progress of the pair, but after a few weeks, number 10's movement ceased just outside the park boundary. He had been shot. Not 13 kilometers from the site of number 10's death, the project team found number 9 and discovered her new litter of pups, the first members of a new generation of Yellowstone wolves. Fearing for their danger, the team collected the family and brought them back to safety. Eventually, number 9 and the pups were released for good. Number 9 quickly proved herself as an important matriarch. In one genetic study, she was found to be related to almost 80% of the wolves in the park. Her most prominent son, number 21, became the leader of the famed Druid Peak Pack, the largest and most visible of mini packs that began to establish territory in the region. Scientists and amateur wolf watchers savored an unprecedented chance to observe events that played like scripted dramas, as leaders rose and fell and family lines evolved. The Druid Peak Pack grew to a staggering 37 members, stars of the new wolf-watching world. For more than 10 years, they occupied center stage. But gradually, conflicts with other packs and outbreaks of disease chipped away at their empire. The Druids are gone. And the Silver Pack, the pack that I'm tracking, now roams in a part of their old territory. But as the advances of the Black Wolf prove, no hierarchy goes untested in wolf country. Even after I move on, tensions between the alpha of the Silver Pack and the Black Wolf continue, eventually exploding into a vicious battle captured on film. The Black Wolf draws blood, but the alpha fights back. He's not giving up his place in the family if he doesn't have to. After a fierce battle, the battered alpha retreats. He slinks away from his pack. It looks like the Black Wolf might have managed to steal the alpha's crown. If I'm going to survive out here and keep watching the wolves, I'm going to have to build a backcountry home where I can weather the freezing nights. This looks like a great spot for a Quincy, a Native American snow shelter designed for use in these light, fluffy snow conditions.
It's a perfect spot. Now for the hard part. I've got to pile snow as high as that probe, but I'm gonna get my crew to help.
If you plan to spend some serious time out here, size does matter. Building a dome that I'll be able to stand up inside of is a big job.
I've only been at it for a little bit. I'm down almost as tall as I am, and I've got a long ways to go. Just adding the finishing touches. Look at that thing. It is massive.
The rewards for a job well done more than make up for the effort. Come blizzard or Arctic cold front, this shelter will maintain a temperature right around 0 degrees, even if the temperature outside is 40 below zero.
It is so warm and comfy inside the Quincy. And I know it is frigid outside, but that's where the wolves are, and I've got to go find some. So I gotta get up, leave the comforts of the Quincy, and head out there.
Today, I'm going to track down the silverback again and see if the black wolf has secured the role of alpha. Scanning for the pack, I see something moving in the icy water below. What a day for a swim.
It's the middle of winter out here in Yellowstone, and one might think that the animals are having a miserable time. But not all the animals are. I just spotted a family group of otters out here, 5 in total. And they're out here swimming, sliding on the snow and ice, and dipping down in that cold water and coming out with things that they're eating. This is really fun to watch.
Otters enjoy this icy dip because they're wearing a very special bathing suit. An otter's coat has over 23,000 hairs in every square centimeter. That's more hair in 6.5 square centimeters than on a human's entire head.
Now I'm out here watching these river otters, and they're having a great time, sliding through the snow and ice, jumping back in the icy cold water, coming back out, slithering around, having a great time. River otters know how to have fun.
I searched for signs of the silverback all day. Finally, at sunset, I see wolves in the distance.
Wow, this is incredible. That wolf pack with the black wolf trying to infiltrate it? Well, he has. He's actually done more than that. He's the new alpha male of the pack. The old alpha is gone. It is so cool to see such great wolf dynamics unfold right in front of my eyes.
I head back to the warmth of the Quincy. Even with this time-tested shelter and all of my technical gear, I'm pushing my body's limits just trying to stay warm. But unlike me, the wolf has been prepared by evolution, not just to survive, but to excel in these conditions. A captive wolf pack and a high-speed camera reveal every detail of the wolf's design. With their trainer on guard and my years of experience handling predators, I can get close to the wolves, something that wouldn't be safe in other situations.
I mean, this is hands-on as it gets right here.
The wolves' first line of defense against winter extremes is at my fingertips. 2 layers of hair, the coarse guard and the silky undercoat, retain heat so efficiently that snow doesn't even melt on the outer layer. Wolves are perfectly equipped to chase their prey in the deep snow. They've got long legs and big paws that act like snowshoes. And they have super endurance. Now, Midnight and Echo are going to put all of that into action. All right, John. Midnight and Echo have little trouble with the snow because they spend so much time above it. Wolves are able to bound up to 5 meters in a single stride. Before they touch down, wolves spread their webbed toes. The maximized surface area of their paws prevents them from sinking into the snow. Top sprinting speed clocks in at between 55 and 65 kilometers per hour. And this athletic prowess is not reserved for short bursts. The gray wolf will travel up to 200 kilometers in a single day in search of food or new territory. But it's their most deadly weapon that I want to see up close.
I know this is a crazy idea, but I came up with it. I want to experience the bone-crushing, joint-dislocating
power of a wolf bite. I'm gonna stick my arm out there for a wolf to grab onto it, just like they would if they were grabbing onto the flank of an elk. So, let's see what happens. A wolf attacks at lightning speed. Slow motion reveals the tremendous force of the strike. They're capable of biting at over 100 kilos per square centimeter, twice the pressure of a German Shepherd strike. This strength distinguishes wolves from other canids, a family that includes dogs, coyotes, and foxes. And it's enough to make me think twice about trying this again. I'm glad he can't get through there. When you put it all together, adaptations to snow, bursts of speed, tremendous stamina, and a bite to match, you get one formidable predator. But the wolf's most powerful advantage is cooperation. Wolves hunt in packs. The strength of their collective attack makes them an apex predator, an animal at the top of the food chain. In Yellowstone, elk flourished in the absence of this apex predator. But with the return of the wolf, the game changed. In this footage from the first years of the reintroduction, the elk seemed stunned by the new aggressor. Elk had lost their fear, exhibiting a condition that scientists call naive prey syndrome. They didn't know their enemy. They made easy targets for the wolves. But quickly, the elk became more vigilant, moving frequently and avoiding places where they didn't feel secure from the wolves. Now, only 1 in 5 wolf attacks results in a successful kill. My journey into the world of the wolf has taken me from fierce pack rivalries to individual wolf anatomy. But now it's time to go inside the pack itself. And there's one foolproof way to get a glimpse into pack life. Find a carcass, make yourself comfortable, and let the action unfold. Down here by the river, I just spotted 2 gray wolves. And I know why now. Right here along the river, there's a dead elk. That elk carcass is pretty much gone. Came through last night, it wasn't there. So what this tells me is that there's probably a good-sized pack that completely got their fill. They're back in the trees, sleeping it off. Hope they come back and pick what's left. On all of the wolf carcasses I've seen over the years in Yellowstone, a similar pattern emerges. First, the alpha male and female, the heads of the pack, eat the prime cuts of the animal. Subordinate wolves claim their share next. And finally, the lowest ranking wolves, usually the youngest, mop up the leftovers. The carcass on the riverbank is pretty picked over by the time this young wolf approaches and takes a share. Even after the sun sets, the wolves continue to feed on the carcass, and the feast carries on into the night. But move a little closer, as I'm able to do with captive wolves, and it's like becoming a temporary member of the pack. What a unique opportunity to be this close to some trained wolves on an elk carcass. Now this wolf right here is doing the exact same thing that wolf did when he bit my sleeve. He's getting a good grip and using that tugging power to tear the flesh away. Every tooth that a wolf has is used right here. They use those canines when they actually take the elk down. And right now they're using their incisors, the small teeth in front, to bite and grab little pieces of flesh and tear them away. And even the hair, they actually pluck the hair away sometimes with their incisors so they can get down to the meat. And then, when they get down to the bone, they'll use the teeth in the back of their jaw and they'll crush the bone so they can get to the marrow to eat it. So right now, as these other wolves move in, This wolf seems to be the dominant wolf. He's establishing his position on the carcass. He's usually using vocalization to let them know, hey, I want this to myself right now. The wolves are very aware of hierarchy, and because I'm so close to the carcass, I have to assert my right to be here. And I don't want to have a submissive position near the carcass as the wolves come around me, so that's why I stood up there. I definitely don't want to be seen as a submissive wolf. Last time that happened, I ended up with a few dozen stitches. Every time I'm near a wolf pack, even in captivity, I have to be sensitive to the pack's hierarchy. A lot of what I know about pack psychology I learned from these two, Teton and Madison, two gray wolves I raised right alongside Brutus. Once Teton and Madison were full grown, they joined a pack of Arctic wolves at the Wolf Keep Wildlife Sanctuary outside Missoula, Montana. The Arctic wolves sport snow-white coats. Teton and Madison might not look like Arctic wolves, but they're definitely part of the pack and must act according to their rank among the other wolves.
Oh boy! Oh, look, there's Teton over there too. Now see, they're not real high on the totem pole, so to speak. There's rules in this pack. So they're gonna be a little hesitant of reacting the way they want to around the rest of the pack.
The alpha male isn't so sure about me entering the ranks. Teton and Madison want to come greet me, but they need to get permission from the alpha wolf first. And this is the alpha male of the pack. His name's Wizzy. He's kind of coming up and checking us out, letting us know really that he's the boss in some way. And it's one thing I always do, and you can look at Madison here, he's already demonstrating some slinking around body language, really submissive. When he was a puppy, I used to do this vocalization. But he really will recognize that. And you'll see as I walk over here, he's already wanting to interact. Come here, puppy, come here, oh boy, yay, yay, oh boy. As Teton and Madison approach me, the alpha immediately steps in to assert his dominance.
Oh boy. And you can see this guy's demonstrating I don't think this is a real cool thing you're doing. He's making sure that they know he's still the boss. That's right.
But finally, the alpha lets his guard down, and Teton and Madison get to give me a proper greeting.
Remember when you were just a little puppy? Here comes your brother. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, both my boys at one time. Oh boy. Oh, I love these guys. Good boy. Oh.
I'm in the backcountry to join my wife, Missy. Missy and I spend a lot of time outside together, and I always enjoy getting a chance to take her on my adventures.
You made it to Kodiak. It was really good. Really cool.
Today, we're meeting in West Yellowstone, the headquarters for Yellowstone's winter tours. Each year, thousands of visitors travel into the park on snowmobiles and snow coaches for a unique experience of Yellowstone's wonders. This morning, it's a balmy negative 29 degrees, so Missy and I have bundled up for the journey. We spot a set of tracks in the meadow and stop to take a look.
Oh, look right here. Now you can see where a red fox has been hunting around this meadow. And unlike us, look how he's staying on top of the snow. And you follow its tracks and you can actually see right over there where it listened, heard a rodent underneath the snow, and then leapt into the air, right down through the snow, pounced right on that little rodent and grabbed it.
I guess I understand it intellectually, but a visual would really help.
So you want me to demonstrate a fox pounce?
Yes, please. Now, make sure you give us a full demonstration, including the radar, and a very deep pounce.
Okay. So what the fox does, he comes up, he listens, he hears a rodent underneath the snow. He uses those ears, he locates that rodent with his radar,
Do you hear
and then...
Well done. It was very sly, like a fox.
But as complimentary as Missy is of my imitation, she's thrilled when we track down the real McCoy.
A little fox like that, even though they're not very big, they have to eat a lot of rodents a day, so they cover a lot of ground just searching for rodents and food.
It was so cool when he was walking up. He was walking on old tracks. Not when I'm following you, I always try to step in your footprints because it's a little easier, but I noticed he was out there following his own tracks.
Yeah, they'll use old tracks all the time, sometimes even the road. Watch him, he's using his radar right now, watch. Oh my God, he got one too. I can't believe so awesome. It's amazing. The little rodents are underneath the snow, just minding their own business, cruising along. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that fox just comes right through the ceiling and grabs and pulls them up.
Bam.
If we could jump up in the air, you know, in comparison to our body size, it'd be like jumping over the top of like a 2-story building. And then like landing head first in the snow.
Back on the tour, Missy and I make one last stop. I think we finally found what we're looking for.
If you listen, you can hear what sounds like a single wolf right up there howling. Do you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it a second ago. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's multiple wolves howling. There's a pack of wolves up there, and there's a herd of bison right there. And that pack of wolves needs to eat. If we hang out here, we got the perfect formula for an epic wolf situation.
How many bison will they kill?
Well, they'll only kill one bison, and likely a young bison or an old, weak bison. To take down a bison for even the biggest, baddest wolf pack is quite a feat. Right now, I just spotted right up here on the hill a pack of wolves. I see 4 right now. I see a big black male and then 3 gray wolves. Do you want to look? Big one on top of the ridge. There to the left, there's like a little swale and then a bump. Look at the bump.
I see them. Oh my God. Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah, they're on the move. Now, what's great is that we've got...
They're totally coming down
wolves
towards
up.
us. You think they're gonna go for a bison?
That's the perfect recipe. We've got wolves and we got wolf food.
They're really, they're big. I didn't think they were gonna be that big. So which pack is that we're looking at?
Well, judging by its numbers, that's the Gibbon pack, which is the biggest pack in the park. They have 17 wolves, which is a massive pack.
But the Gibbon pack doesn't stay around for long. Just as quickly as they came onto the scene, they disappear into the frozen air. The bison are safe, for now. Spring arrives in Yellowstone, and with it comes a chance to observe a wild gourmet feast. When a wolf makes a kill, a crowd flocks to the scene.
Got a great situation here. The wolves killed a bison last night, and right now, I've got front row seats with 2 big gray wolves on it.
Wolves take very large prey. This bison could easily have weighed more than 450 kilos, so a wolf kill is a smorgasbord for scavengers. At least a dozen species in the park, including ravens, eagles, and coyotes, benefit from the abundance. With spring's arrival, grizzlies emerge from their dens, and the banquet gets a little bit more complicated.
Well, I know there's grizzlies around, so I'm gonna sit back and see what happens.
As I watch, a big grizzly moves in to challenge the wolves for the carcass. Grizzlies rarely take down adult elk or bison by themselves. They just don't have the speed. So wolf kills have become a significant new food source for the bears.
And it's funny, that big boar just walking into that carcass and his apparent arrogance, he just doesn't care. Just moves in and says, "Come on, wolves, give it a shot."
Grizzlies lack subtlety when it comes to claiming their piece of the pie.
This bear, before the wolves are introduced, would never have quite the opportunities that he does now. Now that the wolves are in the area, they're killing a lot of different animals and leaving carcasses around for the bears to eat. So he's completely benefiting from the wolves' presence. Now the wolves are moving back in, but that big boar, he staked his claim on that carcass. He's not even eaten, he's just laying on it, showing the wolves who's boss.
The wind picks up and the snow begins to fall, but the bear doesn't budge.
Right now, it's a game of patience. The bear's just laying on the carcass, the wolves have moved off, they're laying down, and they're just gonna wait to see who makes the next move. Wow. The weather in spring in Yellowstone is unpredictable. Just when you think winter's over, a blizzard blows in. And I'm freezing my butt off, so I'm gonna get out of here.
Feasts like this clearly demonstrate that the return of the skillful hunter benefits many species. But not every wolf kill is appreciated. With the success of the reintroduction, Yellowstone's wolves quickly began to expand their range. Today, more than 1,500 wolves from the Yellowstone program and from populations in northern Montana and Idaho have established territory outside of the national parks. Roaming among millions of domestic animals, the wolf stirs heated contention. Ranching is an important part of the economy and a treasured way of life. I'm visiting two ranches not far from the park, a cattle ranch and a sheep operation. I want to talk to people who make a living on the land and hear their side of the wolf story. But first, there's some work to do. I pitch in to help with two important spring tasks, branding and shearing. We'll give the calves vaccinations and mark them with the ranch's brand. And we'll shear the sheep, collecting the woolly fleeces that they have grown for an entire year. When the work wraps up, it's time to talk wolves. I'm a fifth-generation Montanan. It's important to me to get the point of view from the people that are living it every day, and really try to tell the truth. I mean, what's really happening out there with these wolves, and how is it affecting people that live right out here in wolf country?
I don't disagree that there isn't a place for wolves. I just don't think it's in a place where there's agriculture, and they just don't fit. We've had a tremendous amount of trouble with them, and we don't feel like we should have to move because they're there.
A few extreme incidents have fueled the argument against the wolves. This ranch outside of Dillon, Montana lost more than 100 sheep in 2009. These wolf kills accounted for more than a quarter of the total wolf-related livestock deaths in the state of Montana during that year.
There's good and bad in the wolves, but we see the bad because they've killed on our place, and we've lost probably around 400 head of sheep. It was a sick feeling to walk out there and see that. Our loss last year alone was pretty close to $50,000.
Programs have been set up to help reimburse ranchers for proven wolf kills, but it can be difficult to find an animal that has been taken by a wolf, not to mention confirming its cause of death.
Everything in agriculture today is just getting tougher and tougher, and we just really didn't need one more thing like that to be stepping on us.
If there's livestock there, hey, I think they're gonna, they gotta eat, so they're gonna kill them. So I don't know if there's gonna be any way that we can coexist with them. So I see the bad in the wolf. There's other people out there who see the good in it, so.
While wolves still account for only a fraction of livestock deaths in the region, I can empathize with these ranchers who face yet another threat to their livelihood. What do you guys think of wolves? Don't have much to say. Oh, they don't like wolves. All right, the wolves may not be welcome among these spring lambs, but in a surprising twist, the wolves are saving another kind of baby, pronghorn antelope. For years, the coyote reigned as Yellowstone's top dog, preying on pronghorn antelope fawns in their most vulnerable state. Before a fawn is strong enough to travel with its notoriously fleet-footed mother, its only safety lays in hiding. Coyotes patrol for these defenseless babies, killing many in their first days. The park's pronghorn population hovered at dangerously low numbers. But wolves have reduced the coyote population by half in important pronghorn birthing grounds like the Lamar Valley, giving the fawns an unlikely champion. The wolves, busy pursuing larger game and chasing off coyotes, give the fawns a chance. In the presence of the wolves, pronghorn numbers continue to grow. When summer brings green,